Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarich if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back because it is just so nice. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about social media, and I'm gonna try to help you think about it in a way that may be a lot differently than how you see it now. So yeah. Whenever you hear the word social media come up in the media, almost always it's something negative. Like, just doing a quick YouTube search of the keyword social media, you can see that 95% of these videos are negative about how social media is ruining our lives, it's ruining our generation, it's terrible for us, and the best thing to do for ourselves is to cut it out completely because it offers no benefits. But I'd really like to challenge this assumption because from my perspective, social media specifically and the internet in general is one of the best things that could have possibly happened to humankind because it gives us unfiltered and uncensored access to people around the world and those people's ideas. If you think about it, like when you want to change the world, how do you do that? I would argue that the best and only way to change the world is to change people's minds. And to do that, you have to introduce ideas to them and plant those seeds. So social media comes in as a very handy tool for this purpose. No longer do we have to go through gatekeepers to share what's going on in our heads. We don't have to convince anyone in power to provide us with a platform so that we can share our message. All we have to do is post online, and slowly the platform starts building itself around you automatically. Like, it's crazy the amount of potential that this has if we just realize it. And like, that's just on a zoomed out big picture level. Like, social media has a lot of potential to benefit us at an individual level. One of the biggest things that I've learned over the past couple of years, like especially doing this whole YouTube thing, is that creativity and putting ourselves and our ideas out there is one of the biggest keys to living a happy and purposeful life. When we put our thoughts and our ideas out there into the world, we achieve a sense of peace and serenity because doing so in any shape or form, whether it's a video or music or anything, it makes our lives more meaningful. So I was having a conversation with someone the other day, and he was explaining to me his point of view on life and existence, and it was very nihilistic. Like, to him, and nothing mattered. Like, his life was inherently meaningless because death is a thing. Like, he thinks that because we are all going to die, and because in a couple hundred years or so no one's ever going to remember that we existed, that there's no point to do anything. Like, nothing matters. And sure, if you believe that we only exist in the material world, like if we only exist as flesh and like this body, then yes, we are going to be gone and we are going to be forgotten. However, we also have minds apart from our body. We have consciousness that allows us to think of ideas, and these ideas can be shared with other people and they can live on far longer than any of us as individuals ever can. And if you share an idea that changes someone's way of thinking in a positive way and therefore changes their life in a positive way, then your life is now meaningful, even if it was just one person. Because you existed, the world is now a better place because that one person's life is better. And that's how I really think about things, and that's why I think that social media is such an important tool for us, because it allows us to do that. It allows us to share ourselves and make our lives meaningful. And like, let's face it, social media is not going anywhere at this point. Like, we are too far in. Some people think that cutting it out completely is the way to go, but realistically, if you take away your presence online, you are now a bit more behind than everyone else is, because in the world that we are living in right now, events don't just occur in the real world. They also occur online. There's two different realms that we are living in between, and if you give up a social media presence, you miss out. And for some people that's fine, but for a lot of people that might make things worse because then you may feel isolated. So I don't think that completely deleting social media is the way to go. I think that we have full control over how we interact with such a technology, and if we put in a little bit of effort, we can really make it work for us. So I came up with a couple of steps to help guide you through this process, to help you change the relationship that you have with social media, change the interaction with this technology from something negative into something positive that can bring a lot of light into your life. I don't know how to transition from that, so here are the steps. Step 1, unfollow everyone that does not bring you joy. Basically, use the KonMari method to tidy up your social media accounts. Look at everyone you follow. So for example, on Instagram, go into the list of people that you are following, read each username, and figure out if when you see their posts, does that give you a positive feeling or does that give you a negative feeling? And if it's a negative feeling, unfollow them. And I know this might be hard for some people because a lot of the times we're following people out of social obligation because we know them in real life and they follow us, so we have to follow them back, and you don't really like them, but you have to follow them. Get rid of that. Get rid of that thinking, because if you really want to free yourself, you just have to take that blow. If you unfollow a person and they get mad at you and they start talking about it to you, to others, or whatever, do you really, like, think about it, like, do you really want that kind of a person in your circle? Like, do you want that person influencing your life? No. So get rid of them. I don't care. I've had a couple of people like that. Who cares if they unfollow you back? Like, it's fine. You're gonna be a lot happier, I promise. Step 2, now replace all these people that you've unfollowed and follow people that inspire you. Follow people that are living in a way that you want to live. Is there a specific thing you want to do with your life? Follow someone that is doing that exact same thing, because it'll help you visualize that better for yourself, and then that kind of lifestyle will be clearer in your own head and you'll be able to attract it better because you'll know what steps you need to take to achieve it. And seeing another person in the place that you want to be, sometimes it can bring you start comparing yourself, but don't follow the people that trigger that comparison. Follow people who are real, who are raw, who are authentic, that want to help you too. And basically flood your feeds with positivity. Step 3, set a time limit. Okay, so the whole point, like I said, for social media was that you can share your ideas and you can get inspired by other people. However, if you end up spending too much time getting inspired and not doing anything with that inspiration, then there's no point, because then you won't be getting the benefits. You need to set a time limit so that you don't waste all your precious time not doing what you should be doing. And I don't know about Android because I haven't had an Android phone in a while, but on iPhones, if you go into settings and scroll down to screen time, you can set limits for apps. And what this does is it will give you either a reminder or it'll just block you completely, and it will help break that cycle of just like unconsciously scrolling throughout the day without even really thinking about what's happening, and it'll help you get so much of your time back. Okay, and step 4, use it as a means to connect with people. And the way I accomplish this step is by responding to people. If someone posts something that you like, for example, if it's an Instagram story or if it's a Facebook post or anything, instead of just hitting like, send them a message or post a comment and share how that post made you feel, because this helps you create relationships with people that you may have no other way to foster relationships with. And this is how I've gotten to take my list of acquaintances that I've gathered all on my social media accounts and turn them into friends, because I've been actively doing this and I've actively been talking to people online, and I'm not scared to message anyone that I haven't talked to in a while. I can now see these people in real life, and instead of avoiding eye contact or instead of just like waving hi from far away and walking away, I can now stop and have a conversation if I want to, and that is so powerful, and it leaves you feeling so happy and connected, and like, we're social creatures, we need that, and this can really bring a lot of happiness into your life just by doing this one thing. And so those are my steps. The last thing that I wanted to touch on was the concept of followers and likes being equated to self-worth. So people thinking that the number of likes and the number of followers that they have directly reflect how valuable they are as a person. So one way that I have found really works to break this association is by just posting more and posting what you want to post without thinking of what people are going to say, and basically just forcing yourself to do it. So once you do this and you post regularly, you obviously don't get as much engagement as you would if you post like every couple months or that kind of a thing. And it really desensitizes you. You just start to not care at all whether someone liked it or someone commented or someone sent you a message. Like, you post it just happy knowing that maybe one person clicked on it and read it and it changed the way they thought, you know? So, and that is my video. So in conclusion, I think that social media is an amazing tool. It is a brilliant technology, and we should all be really grateful for the opportunities that it gives us that wouldn't be possible otherwise. And we all just need to focus on changing the way we interact with it and teaching other people those changes as well so that they can benefit from it as well. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, that's it. See you next week.